Hey guys and girls, how you all doing? It's Kirsty, as usual, with another gameplay commentary. And today we're playing on Arcaden, and this is a ground war domination match. And I'm playing with the P90, and I think my attachments are rapid fire and suppressor. But we're not actually going to talk about the gameplay today, although I will say quickly that this was a little bit of a sad game. I will tell you now, we do lose by 1 point, and I actually thought we had the win in the bag, but my math skills just aren't that great. So like I said, we lost by 1 point, and I normally don't post games like this, but seeing as this commentary is going to have nothing to do with the gameplay, I figured I'll go with it, because I don't actually have that many gameplays that are going to really be long enough to cover this topic, because there is quite a lot to get through, and I honestly don't even know if I'm going to get through it all in this commentary, but I'm going to try. So what I wanted to talk about today was growing your YouTube channel, and this is more so for the guys that have just started on YouTube or thinking about starting on YouTube, because I do get quite a lot of messages and just conversation from people about them wanting to start a YouTube channel, and just lots of questions, and I'm sure you guys that do actually have channels have heard these sort of questions a lot of times. How you grow, how do you get subs, how do you do this and that. So I'm sure this is going to be pretty old to a lot of you guys. But this isn't for you guys who have got an established channel and have sort of figured out how it all works. This is more for those guys that either have a really small channel and they're just not growing the way that they expected they would, or people who are actually thinking about starting in the future. So before I go any further, I have spoken about this in a previous video, just about having realistic expectations for what you want to get out of YouTube and what you're actually expecting to get out of this newfound hobby of yours. Because that's what it is, especially for now, and what it's going to be for a long time, and what for a lot of people it's always going to be. Like for me, this is just a hobby. I don't make any money off these videos. I'm not even concerned about making money off these videos, because frankly, unless you're getting quite a lot of views a day, we're talking 100,000 sort of thing, even probably more than that, you're not going to be able to use this as a full-time job. So I think that's one of the most important things that I can cover first, because I think a lot of people get involved in YouTube for the wrong reasons, and for a lot of these people, money seems to be a big motivator. But from what I've heard from people who are partnered, the money isn't great, unless, like I said before, you're one of those big guys like Woody's Gamertag, things like that, who can actually afford to just make videos. These guys are getting a lot of views, and when you just start out on YouTube, you're not going to get this amount of views. It's just not going to happen. So now I've got all that stuff out of the way, let's actually get on to a bit of what you sort of need if you're thinking of starting a channel, or you're just starting a channel now. Because I don't think a lot of people realise just how expensive of a hobby this actually is when you first start. You're going to definitely need some way to record your game footage, preferably a HD PVR. I know a lot of people try and invest as little money as they can in this hobby when they first start. I don't know, I think some people are trying to sort of see if it's going to work for them, and just to see if they're going to have any success at all. So some people will try and record their game footage with cameras and mobile phones and things like that. And I hate to tell you guys, but it's just not going to cut it these days. I still get videos from people now that are recorded on video cameras. And when majority of people are using HD footage, you're just not going to get noticed. No one's going to want to click your video if they can see that it's essentially a video camera recording on a TV. So that's the most important thing you have to worry about, is the actual quality of your videos and how you're actually going to get them uploaded. Then you also need to think of things like TVs, for example, because most PVRs don't actually record with HDMI, they use component cables. And this can be a big problem for some people depending on their setup, and it's not something a lot of people really factor into their decision. And then you're also going to need some sort of microphone, but that's not something that's going to be too expensive, especially at first. There are audio programs like, I think it's called Audacity, that can make a really poor microphone sound pretty decent. So that's not really going to be your biggest concern at the moment. You just pretty much need to find how to get your videos uploaded and how to get them looking decent. So now you've got your quality sorted, you're going to have to figure out how you're actually going to make these videos, because you're going to need some sort of program for your computer that's going to allow you to add audio and any sort of editing you might actually need to do. And some of these things can be rather expensive. I use Vegas, for example, which is a quite expensive program, especially considering some of you guys are quite young and still on allowances and things like that. And there are other ways of obtaining these programs free, but it is illegal and it's not the sort of thing that I'm really going to talk about. So just really keep that in mind, because this is a far more expensive hobby than what a lot of people realise. And I don't want to see all these brand new Hapages on eBay in the next couple of months. Although I'm sure there's always going to be a lot of that, because a lot of people get into YouTube, have the wrong expectation, and then they wonder why it is that their channel's not growing. And I think a real big part of that is you need to really be original. It is very difficult, I know, when it seems like everything's been done before, but you just need to try and put your own sort of unique spin on things and try and find your niche in the community. This is really important. Some people like watching different things. Some people, they're more interested in the commentary. Other people, they're more interested in watching someone play who's an absolute beast, who does things that they can't necessarily do themselves. And some people like tips and things like that. So you've just got to figure out what it is that you like to do, what it is that you're good at, and really stick with it. And stick with what you find fun. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to please everyone, because everyone's so different. And you will find out very quickly into this journey that there are a lot of trolls on YouTube. So honestly, I think the best thing that you can do is just do your best at whatever you're doing. Try and put out the best possible content that you can. And eventually your channel will grow, and you will find people within the community who have similar interests to you and enjoy the content that you're putting out there. But of course, this takes time. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, alright, so what is it that you do now? You've put out a few videos, they're looking all good, and you're still just not getting that many views. And this is where it's really, really difficult for a new channel. And my advice, honestly, is you need to go and talk to as many people as you can. And I'm not saying go out onto White Boy or Woody's videos and start spamming them with your links, because people just ignore that. I swear, so many people still try and do it now. They just try and fill up people's videos with links to their own crap, and I really don't think anyone even checks that stuff out. So my big advice to you guys who are just starting out is get on the YouTube search page and search up similar things to what you put out. So if you do tips, if you do commentaries, if you do montages, if you do Moabs, type it in. But then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the filter button, and then you're going to filter the results to today, this week, something like that. Because you want to find people who have similar size channel to you, who are also active. Because that's the thing, some guy who's been posting videos 3-4 months ago, he mightn't necessarily still be active on YouTube. But if you go through the filter option, you're going to find guys who have just uploaded a video in, say, the last 24 hours. And look through their content and actually find guys that you legitimately enjoy their work. Because there's no point just spamming random people or, you know, come check out this, come check out that, because it's likely not going to get you anywhere. Still to this day, I never send people messages with check out this video, check out that video. I just make friends. That's really the key to actually growing your channel when you start as a really small channel, is make friends with people. Find people that you actually like, people that you want to play with, people that you want to talk to, and go and watch their videos, enjoy their videos. and comment on their videos. That's one of the big things. Comment, get to know these people, and you'll be surprised how many of these guys, especially some of the smaller guys who are just like you, want to actually reply back and get involved with you and do various networking and dual commentaries and dual tages and just lots of things. So that's really the key when you first start out on YouTube, is to find other people who are in the same situation as you. Because honestly, there are a lot of people who have really small channels and they really want to grow and they're just not sure how. And that's really the big advice that I can give you to get over that sort of stepping stone of getting to those first 100 or so subscribers, because it definitely does get easier. The more subscribers you gain, the more of them that you'll gain, and the more views that you'll gain, and the more known you become by people, the more known you'll become by other people. So that's really my big advice, is just networking. But be legitimate, be honest with people, because people can see straight through bullshit. If you're only talking to someone because you want them to go and check out your videos, like your videos, things like that, they're gonna know. Especially on YouTube, you get pretty used to dealing with fake people pretty damn quickly. Which really brings me on to my next quick point, which is actually really important, which is be nice to people, treat people with respect, even if they're being hateful towards you. It's surprising how many people who have started leaving negative comments and things like that, who have actually now become subscribers and friends after we've actually spoken about things. So you'll be surprised how far being nice actually gets you. Anyway guys, I haven't actually gotten to cover quite a lot of things that I have wanted to get onto, so stay tuned for part 2, where we'll talk about more things like titling your video and just being descriptive, just things like that that'll help your video get more noticed and give people more of a chance to actually click your video. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this commentary. Please leave a like if you had, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe for more content. Bye!